You are about to enter a world rarely discussed at dinner tables, yet quietly present at life's most pivotal moments. A world where a single signature can unlock a fortune, or freeze it in time. A world where trust is currency, and hesitation can cost thousands. Tonight's journey does not take place in a distant galaxy, nor in a haunted mansion, but in conference rooms, hospital corridors, kitchen tables at 8:47 p.m., where opportunity knocks, and sometimes no one answers. You're about to meet the unseen guardians of agreements, the silent witnesses to power of attorney, real estate empires, last wills, and new beginnings. But beware, in this dimension, the difference between thriving and merely surviving is not talent, not luck, but infrastructure. Because somewhere between the missed call, the delayed follow-up, and the unreturned voicemail, revenue vanishes. And in its place, regret. Tonight, we explore the thin line between chaos and control, between the overwhelmed notary and the architect of precision. You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of stamps and seals, but of systems and strategy. A journey into a land where every call matters, every minute counts, and automation whispers in the shadows. You've just crossed over into the Notary Inside Show.
Peace, peace, peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest show on the planet, the Notary Inside Show with Tiger Toledo and Tekamaku, Mr. Automation himself. What up, brother?
What up, man? We back in the building, man.
Yeah, man. We back at it. I got where's my applause, man? I gotta keep it on deck. Keep the applause on deck. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. How you doing with the cold, bro?
Yeah, man. I'm on day 38.
Damn. Well, you caught the flu or something? You caught the flu?
Man, this is 10 times worse than the flu.
Wow. Sorry to hear that, bro. I feel great.
I knock flus on their back. This ain't the flu. This is something else.
Oh man, it sounds torturous, man.
Yeah. Nah, it ain't nothing that the God can't handle.
You heard? So, Tech, today, man, we have an interesting show. I actually created the intro with your face on there this time. So you got a quick monologue by Tech GPT AI. Let's get a listen from him.
Imagine this. A notary wakes up at 7:30 in the morning, coffee brewing, phone buzzing. They've got 3 signings today. Life feels good, but something strange happens. The phone rings while they're driving to a signing. They miss the call. Later, another call comes in while they're printing documents. Missed again. Then a text comes in asking, "Are you available today?" They respond an hour later. The reply, "Never mind, I found someone else." Now here's the crazy part. That notary thinks they had a good day. They made $350, but what they didn't see was the $5,000 quietly walking out the back door of their business that month. Missed calls, delayed responses, uncaptured clients, and nobody ever told them.
Yep.
The $5,000 problem, bro. Now that I haven't heard anybody speak on this, how active notaries lose revenue daily. What do you say about that, bro?
It's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a major problem. You may not even realize it. It's impossible to be everywhere at every single point in time if you're not using technology. It's impossible. And when we say technology, we're not talking about to draft up spam emails. We're talking about actual agents, actual AI technology that is affording you the opportunity to not lose out on these calls.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible. There's just times where I'll log into my Sabrina system and then I'll see, like literally, over the last 2 days, there were 7 calls that I just never, ever, like my phone just didn't ring because Sabrina handled all of the phone calls, communicated the back and forth. There's a video I just released where I'm doing a walkthrough, an actual live engagement with Sabrina. It's on YouTube right now. It's on the Hey Sabrina channel. So go look up that video. It's just released. And you can see the live interaction with the customer.
Mm-hmm.
No human engagement whatsoever, except for the person who's actually looking for the notary.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, then how would you be able to measure what it is that you're losing? You wouldn't be. There's no way to know.
Yeah, it's a. I know I experienced that problem. I know you experienced that problem, and that's why Sabrina was birthed out of that that chaos. And I don't think a lot of people realize how much money gets lost. And we're going to give you some context so you can really see what is going on in your business. And if you haven't had a chance to take the Notary Revenue Scorecard leakage, definitely take that. We'll put it up in a second. But I wanted to, and I'm sorry, darling, wanted to announce our new co-host, Tech.
Yeah.
Sexy Green right here. Sexy Green is in the house. I needed some life in the studio, you know what I mean? So I had to get some type of a plant, just bring God and nature into the mix, man. So welcome Sexy Green to the show.
Yeah, what you watering that thing, man? What you putting in that water?
I haven't watered it yet, technically. So technically, I'm supposed to keep it outside watered and stuff like that. But right now she's rocking with the show. So, she's going to be a temporary guest, but we'll put her outside with the sun, Mother Nature and God and stuff and let her grow some more.
Yeah, she's happy right there.
Yeah, Sexy Green is, our new co-host in the
looking
joint.
lush.
You know what I mean? Had a little California flavor to it too. A little California, Miami flavor to it. You know what I mean?
I thought you was on Sunset Boulevard for a second. I don't know where you were.
But Tech, let's talk about this, right? So I want to put this in context real quick. So the average notary makes about $75 to $200, right? Let's say an average job for a notary is $125 per job. Now imagine that notary miss about maybe 2 to 3 potential phone calls per day, as the intro stated earlier. Whether it was a missed call, we miss calls all the time. Well, we don't, because Sabrina making sure she handles that. Late responses. How many of you guys experience late responses? Like you're in a signing, or maybe you're occupied with something and you just didn't have a chance to send that text or make that call back to the client. It happens. Calls during signings, calls during driving. If you're not comfortable with taking phone calls during driving. If you do take phone calls on driving, please have a headset. I recommend a Blue Parrot. That is what truck drivers use. It has a really good microphone, blocks out any background noises. It is phenomenal. It's about $129, $150. But it is a phenomenal headset. to have if you are driving and you're taking a lot of phone calls. But you can also get Sabrina to kill that, and that'll save you a lot too. Calls during dinner time. Have you ever experienced that, Tech?
Oh yeah. I'll be watching movies with my wife and my family, and like I said, I have two different phones, two separate phones. So one has a very distinct ring. So if I hear that ringtone, I know that somebody's called Sabrina. Somebody either dialed 0, and the text message alert versus the actual ringtone. So I know exactly what I'm walking into. If the phone rings, I know exactly what happened. I know, all right, this person's dialed 0, and now they're trying to call over to the home office. Or the person is live, like the phone's actually ringing, and this person either went through the whole system and then they wanted to still speak to somebody, or they just wanted, or if they didn't go through the whole system and they just press 0, then I know it's urgent. So I know they're on the hook, and I go right into that mode.
Yeah, and this is one that used to catch me a lot. Calls during family time. So when I would take my boys to, swimming, or maybe, the park district to do some activities and stuff like that, man, bro, the phone would ring. Or even I would take them to go the Sky Zone, the trampoline park. It's noisy as hell in there. You can't take a sales call in a place like Sky Zone. Bro, they'll be like, well, do you want to call me back? Or, you know what, don't worry about it, I'll call you back. So that would happen often. More than I liked. So let's do the math. In a day's time, if you miss 3 phone calls and you're charging about $125, that's $375 per day that you're missing out on. Per day.
Potentially, yes.
Potentially, right. So 375 times, we're going to say that you only work 20 days out of the month. That's $7,500 lost in revenue. Does that number hit?
On the low end.
On the low end.
Yeah.
And that's not counting like recurring customers, people that will use you throughout the years. That's just for 1 month. See, the small number will hit different. It'll be like, 375. I could have done some stuff with that, but all right, it is what it is. But when you look at $7,500 loss in revenue in 1 month, now you start thinking like, okay, maybe I do have a $10,000 notary business, but I'm not running it as so. I'm skating by with just $2-3 a month when I really have a $10,000 business right in my hands. What do you say, bro?
No, that's a good point, because you don't look at it in those terms. You don't look at it in that perspective. What did I miss? What could I have actually captured had I not been unable to answer the phone, or unable to close that call, or just I never spoke to that person, or I answered the phone and I was inside of the Skyplex and there was thousands of people streaming around, and the person on the other end did not perceive me as being professional. How many people did I actually lose before I even had the opportunity to have them? So yeah, people, when you look at it in those perspectives, it was unacceptable to me. It was I didn't even want that problem to begin with. I didn't want it to even get to that point. So I knew before it even could reach that point, let me put something in place now, so I don't even run into that issue where if I'm driving, or if I'm eating, or if I'm doing family time, or sleep, or on the bathroom, whatever. I don't even want that problem.
Yeah, I don't want that smoke either. Now here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, bro. That's just a month. Now when you tally up what that looks like in a year's time, it's enough to make you want to throw up. It's 90 grand potential revenue loss. $90,000, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Because you missed 3 phone calls in a day. Dude, most notaries miss at least 3 to 5 or more phone calls per day.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, right? Sometimes the phone calls come in and it says spam likely, and it's not spam. It's not even spam. So you treat it like it's a spam call, and it's not a spam call. Another phone call might come through. You might think, depending, I don't know what your finances are, but you might think it's a creditor. You don't answer the phone call, but it's really somebody calling from their job.
Yeah, but that's so number one, that draws back to the point of you having the notary business ran on your personal phone, number one. Mm-hmm. So your personal phone number is ringing all the time. You're not answering your personal phone. Separate those two. Now you have a different issue. You could probably potentially solve that problem with the two phone scenario, where you have a phone where people who were looking for you, they wouldn't know otherwise that you would have that number. Only business related, talking would take place on that phone. So you wouldn't have to worry about necessarily like the creditor situation, for example. But that doesn't solve the problem, though, right? You've answered it, you've addressed it, but it doesn't resolve the problem completely because number one, it's still going to voicemail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very big number, man. And even with the second phone, if you're at work, or again, like we were talking about, family time, dinner time, just taking a shower, that's lost revenue. And then by the time you call back, look, the customer doesn't care what you have going on. They know that they have an urgent need and they need you to handle this problem for them. If you're unavailable, all they're doing is going down the list. And you guys can Google notaries in your area. That is not a difficult thing to do. But if you have a system, a revenue capture infrastructure, like, okay, so this technically isn't for a brand new notary that's not getting phone calls. If you're not getting any phone calls, you're not leaking any revenue. This is for notaries that are actually getting calls. And you're in the process of scaling your business. The more you scale your, and you'll appreciate this, Tech. A lot of times they believe that they need to do more advertising.
Yeah, marketing or advertising.
They will buy more ads, or they will go and do Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever, TikTok ads, and they'll get an even more of a rush and more phone calls, but they're not capturing the opportunities that they get now. That's what we're trying to emphasize. Before you go out there and spend money on Google ads and all of these advertising, and you think it's your graphics that aren't getting more customers because the marketing. No, you're missing phone calls. You're missing opportunities right now.
Right.
So what do you think is going to happen when you put advertising dollars into a boat that has holes in it?
I never understood why I would see notary advertisements on Instagram, for example. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't get that part either.
I don't see. I would click on those ads whenever I would see them because it would be somebody advertising an image of their business card, and not the trash on people, but it's just I don't see the logic.
If you were to
For good
advertise
reason.
on Instagram or Facebook, what would you advertise that's related to the notary? I know what I would advertise, but what would you advertise?
It can be done. I'm not saying that it is completely a mute point. It just doesn't make sense when you click on the advertising. For example, it would say visit profile. That would be the call to action. And then you visit the profile, and it's just somebody's Instagram account. And they're in Florida. Why am I seeing this in California? So that tells me already that the ad account is not structured correctly. And whoever convinced this person to start advertising on Instagram didn't properly show them how to restrict the distance and the region in which these ads are being displayed. So that, to me, it makes no sense when I see that. No sense. But I see it all the time. People who would advertise their Instagram accounts. Now, is there a way to do it? Absolutely, I think so. I think you can absolutely advertise on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll give you an example. Just yesterday, because I love Sabrina and because I love this new version of Sabrina too, because you can actually see how the person got to you. So I can look onto the person's profile and I can see, were they a direct contact? In other words, did they type in my web address, or did they get to the web address from a Google ad, or was there some other method of how they got? So you can see in the traffic source. And then when a person fills out the intake form, when they actually fill out the smart scheduling form, there's a question that asks them, how did you hear about us? And then the person says online search. It'll say Facebook or it'll say Google. So now you've got two separate points of reference that support that traffic source. You're no longer guessing at that point. And the last thing you want to do is guess. If you guess, you're only using emotion, and you actually may be completely, totally wrong. And then what? Now you're making decisions based off of how you feel in that moment and not on actual real information.
I agree with you. We live in a data-driven world at this point. The fact of guessing should be very short-lived. If you do guess on something, right, you should be split testing your guess. And then from the data that you actually get, you can make a better decision, because there's too many data mining situations now. If you're getting 10 customers and they all say Google My Business is the lead source, why are you going to invest dollars in TikTok? Your number one lead source is Google My Business. You're supposed to be using that data. You shouldn't be guessing at that point. You can run experiments to see if certain things work, but there's too much data out here. It's too refined for you to be out here just throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing if it sticks.
Yeah.
So the advertising I would do, go ahead, bro.
No, it's just throwing money down the toilet. Just flushing money down the toilet at that point. And you're just making Facebook richer, making Google richer. And that's the reason why those companies are multi-trillion-dollar companies, because people are blindly just throwing the money at them. And then they blame, why doesn't it work? And it's just not the right reason. So, and that's what Sabrina does. That's what I love about Sabrina, because you actually have some reinforcements and you can make an informed decision versus just doing what's trendy and being a content creator and then just guessing. And then guess what happens when the algorithm switches up on you? Now all of a sudden you have to do something else. So now instead of doing that and then bumping your head against the wall blindly, looking silly, and then you feel bad about yourself because you can't figure out why it's not working. Well, it's not your fault at all. It's just that the information is bad.
Yeah. So if I were to run advertising on Instagram, Facebook, those type of platforms, I would strictly use it for recruiting. That is it, bro. I would use advertising platforms to recruit notaries into my agency.
Not to get customers.
No, not at all.
Right.
It would be completely a recruitment tool. So it's, we got some big things in the works for Sabrina. Can't reveal them right now, but yeah, it would be used as a recruiting tool to get as many notaries as possible on the agency. So it makes it that much easier to dispatch a notary. Like we have one going on in Washington on the 18th, right? I would love to give it to someone in our community that lives in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. And we actually we have the one girl up there, woman, I should say, but we do have
one. So like she's gonna get first dibs on it. I think that helps in more ways than one, right? But I wouldn't advertise for clients, law firms and title companies, and that wouldn't be my thing. They're not using that as a search engine like that. They're using AI more as a search engine than Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, the thing about notaries, man, notaries are so cool because they can they're like very proud. I like that. And there's some people who identify themselves by their work, and athletic trainers, which is my letter professional, a lot of them are like that as well. They are identified by the work that they do, and they're just so heavily just indoctrinated into that. Notaries are the same thing, man. You can easily identify them. They're proud of who they are. They talk about it a lot. They go to all the conferences. They want to be highly involved in it. I wonder what is it about this industry that makes people, because that's not the case. Like, for example, I don't know how social workers are or how people who work in factories or even I don't know, even finance directors. I don't know. I just seem like some industries, particular, just they nurses are another good example of that. For example, people are they wear the t-shirts that display who they are. They go to all the conferences. They're just really, and I think notaries fit into that mold. So
I think there's an allure to it that you are solidified with the government. That's one, right? Like you have to go through a certain, protocol to achieve the, your commission. So you kind of like have a government backing, right? But you're independent. There's something sexy about that, right? Like, no, look, like you can fall back and be like, the law doesn't say you can do that. Who's going to argue that? You're like you know what I mean? You've been crowned boss by the government. Like, I'm going to use my wife as a witness. No, you can't do that. Listen, People be on power trips all the time, bro. Don't believe me? Go to the post office and see how long they have you wait on the line just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Because they could do it. they have the power to. You see her, eating yogurt and shit in the back, and be like, "Yo, like, what's the hold up with the line?" She could do it. That she's on a power trip. So the notary business gives you a chance to be on a power trip.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you got some type of rule of law behind you. You're official. You got the stamp. You got the commission number. For sure, I can see that.
They're turning down deals. Ah, no.
Yeah,
can't do it. State law says this. They're reciting law, by the way. You know what I mean? They're doing. They're independent but government backed. Like that shit is crazy. That's like an independent cop.
Yeah, just one badge.
You know what I mean? I don't need a bunch of. I am backed by the city. I have a bulletproof vest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I walk around with a firearm, then you can see it. I'll bump you in Starbucks, nigga. And you'll be like, "Sorry, officer, my bad."
Right. I'll go right through an intersection.
We're gonna go into the next segment of it, but let's go into a quick commercial break.
I thought I was doing well in my notary business. I was busy. My calendar was full. Money was coming in. But something felt off. Like I was working too hard for what I was earning. So I took the revenue leakage scorecard. It showed me exactly where money was slipping through my business, missed opportunities, weak follow-up, pricing gaps, and retention blind spots I didn't even realize I had. It didn't just give me a number, it gave me clarity. If you're serious about scaling and not just staying busy, you need to see where you really stand. This isn't a quiz, it's a diagnostic, and they only review 10 completed assessments per month. If you want to operate like a CEO and not just a technician, take the assessment now. Because in business, clarity changes everything.
All right, cool. So let's look at the other root cause of you may be having a $5,000 problem. Notaries are the bottleneck of the business. I would say 90% of this industry, they are one-man show. They answer the phone. They're doing the scheduling. One brain, one set of hands. They're doing all of the post-it notes. They're printing out all of the paper, doing all of the FedEx runs. Like, that is exhausting, Tech. That's exhausting.
It's impossible. It's impossible. But the thing is, that's what people proudly do. And this is to me where you gotta have this moment of truth when you're looking in the mirror. Look right in the mirror and say, how is this a business? How is me driving everywhere, answering every single phone call and email, executing every single appointment? How is me being in the central focal point of every moving part of how is that a business? See, somebody told you wrong. And this is where we gotta have this understanding of what actually a business really is. And a business cannot by definition be you doing every single part. We kind of play with this word business and it's getting little. Listen, you better answer that. Or
It's getting
else
out of
it's
hand,
gonna
Tech.
answer
It's getting
you.
out of hand.
It's getting out of hand. It cannot be a business by definition if it involves you at every single moving part and gear and twist and turn. It
Mhm.
can't. How? That's not how that works. So we got to be very careful on what you actually label a business, and because we use it too loosely, man. We use that word too loosely. I had to at first acknowledge to myself, I'm doing everything.
Mhm.
I can't. I'm self-employed. I'm just and just take it and just eat it. What's the difference if you call yourself self-employed versus being a business owner? That distinction is just a word, but if you confusingly mislabel it, you're going to be confused internally. You'll be forever just unsure about what to do next because it's you're calling something, you're labeling something that's not what it is. And to me, it's borderline fantastical. It gets to a point where you're just out in fantasy world at this point, calling yourself a
Mhm.
business owner, but you literally do everything. and that's a big problem.
It is. I I believe that currently notaries, and I really don't expect them to understand the depth of the environment we live in right now, because you're going to play two roles, right? You're either going to be the producer or the consumer. Now, a lot of people cannot get out of the mindset of being a consumer, but to a producer of things, we must look at the behavior of clients. Clients are becoming accustomed to getting instant responses because other companies are giving them instant responses. For instance, Uber will give them an instant response. Amazon gives people an instant response. DoorDash, Uber Eats give them instant responses. But when they call a notary, they're getting the voicemail. They're getting whoever answers the job first. People are comparing your business now to these other huge conglomerate companies now because that's what they're expecting. They're not expecting calls to go to voicemail.
No,
That's like
no,
that's like 1985, bro.
30
Like
years ago,
voicemail,
40 years.
bro. I haven't checked my voicemail in like 5 years.
Damn.
I don't check it. It's a vortex. I have to go through all of these messages just to get. No, I'm not doing it, bro. I don't check voicemails. I will lose business because if you send a voicemail, that's why I got Sabrina. I don't look. I need Sabrina to answer it and engage with the customer, and then she reports back to me and tells me what's going on.
Right.
That's why text messaging has such a high open rate. People are way quicker to answer, look at their text message, which is like 89 to 92%, that they'll check a text message before they go pressing zero for a voicemail. Days could go by for the average person. Weeks could go by. There's really not that many people that checks their voicemail every single day.
No, as a matter of fact, I actually called. So today's Wednesday. On Monday, I was thinking I'm going to call. I had a friend in mind, three people actually. I called the first one, I called them because I figured by me calling them and them seeing that, listen, tech is calling, it's going to be that much more important, and they would be that much more likely to answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Did they answer the phone? No. So what did I do? I left a voicemail. Tuesday, no call back. I then send a text message. I get a reply.
This is what I mean, bro. Customers' behavior is changing daily.
So you mean to tell me that the phone call is less urgent than the text message?
No, not the phone call. The voicemail.
Okay. So by me, but I did call this person and I left a voicemail, no response in 24 hours. I sent the text message and then I got an instant response.
Okay, I'll give you an example, bro. And we'll use you in this scenario. How often you check your voicemail in a day?
0 to 1 times.
Okay. How many times do you check your text messaging?
Probably at least 10.
There it is. There it is. Case closed, Your Honor. I rest my case, Your Honor. No further questions here, Your Honor.
Counselor?
You know what I'm saying? Like done. I do the same thing. Look, my brother just called me while we're live right now. He calls, and then he immediately sends me a text.
Yeah.
That is what people are doing now. They're skipping the whole voicemail thing altogether. Their voicemail has become text. This is so important for people to understand that the consumer's behavior, it has nothing to do with you, but it has to do with society.
Yes.
Society is forcing this stuff on people. And it's helping people adapt to the new ways that business is done. If you're doing business like it's 1980, that means you're still sending facsimiles using a fax machine.
Yeah. Just outdated. Yeah.
Just outdated, bro.
So what did you say to the person? So I carry a mobile scanner in my car, and somebody clowns me for carrying a mobile scanner. Hypothetically speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just, because that's a tool that I need in today's environment. But you're saying that ditch the mobile scanner if you don't actually have some type of method to immediately engage with the people who are like, there won't be a point for the scanner if you don't actually have a way to interact with the actual client to begin with. Like, it's backwards. Why would you have? So what would you say to the person who has a mobile scanner in their car, in their passenger seat, in their mobile office, and they don't even have a way to actually talk to the clients,
So you're saying they put all of that equipment in the back of their car, converter, printer, scanner, and all that stuff, and they don't have any clients?
They don't have a way to answer the phone or respond to immediate text messages, or they just have a voicemail. That's the extent of what they invested into the communication aspect of their business. They got the technical side of it, right? They got the converter and the scanner and the printer. And then as far as the way that they get business into the actual, like, the phone, just voicemail, that'll do.
Yeah, I'll call it the rest in peace, Jesse Jackson, keeping hope alive. I'm gonna call it that. They're running a business on hope. Real talk. They're running business on hope. When I first started in the notary business, there's no way I was going to go take my credit card and buy a $200 printer scanner. Brother printer scanner. This the best laser jet. I don't give a shit about that. I'm going to use FedEx Office in the meantime to keep my costs low and my profit margins high, because I'm going to charge the client accordingly, so it's going to cover my FedEx bill. Printer, scanner, I'm not going to buy that stuff off the gate when I'm not getting any clients. You know how many notaries go out to Amazon and before they even get their commission, they go out and buy the scanner, the printer, the converter. They buy folders, Post-it notes, stacks of pens, reams of paper. I mean, like, it looks like Office Depot in their car and in their house. Not one client. You're working ass backwards. Your job as an entrepreneur is to be as lean as possible. Lean cuisine. You ain't supposed to overspend nothing.
Yeah.
You listen to these weirdos telling you, yeah, you go get this, go get that. And then you're like, well, I got the money on the credit card. Let me go charge it.
Yeah.
No. We teach you how to customer fund your notary business first. The only thing you should be buying is a stamp and your journal.
In the beginning, especially in the beginning.
Yep.
Oh my God. In the beginning, when you haven't actually made any money yet, or have you attracted any type of consistent level of client inflow, you wonder why you're in the hole. It's backwards, yeah. That's real, man.
So, of course, we never complete the show without giving you guys some solutions. And the number one solution is Sabrina AI, ladies and gentlemen, because there's no other like it. Listen, do not look at us as a software company. We are not a software company. We happen to be in the software business, but just like the notary business, I'm not a notary. I'm a businessman. And the same thing with Sabrina AI. Tech and I are not in the software company. We are installing infrastructure to capture revenue for notary businesses. That is different. That's different. So with Sabrina AI, she's going to answer your calls instantly. Go ahead and take a shower midday. Go ahead and take that nap. Go ahead and take your kids to volleyball practice. She got you covered. Don't worry about, hey, let me go talk to some people in Philippines and see if I could get a VA. And then I got to train them up. Ladies and gentlemen, I did it. I love Bree to death, but it's like another job. You have to train that person up. You have to monitor that person's performance. That is a whole different can of worms. If you want to open it, go ahead and open it. But you're going to pay every single hour that person works for you. Sabrina is just one payment a month. She captures your leads automatically. Automatically. No more writing on a pen and pad. No more keeping notes into your head. No more data entry. She's going to do it automatically. And then she schedules your appointments automatically. Oh my God. Like, do you feel the mountains being removed off your shoulders, the monkey on your back? And here's the even better part. I'm not even going to get into our proprietary stuff, Tech. Like let them apply for an installation for that one. But the follow-up mechanism, she follows up with people automatically, whether it's a voice, like she will call them, or she will send them a text. So, like you are operating on a white glove status at that point. That type of service right there commands that you charge more.
Yeah.
If you get Sabrina, and I'm gonna say this arrogantly. If you have Sabrina and your prices are the same as before you got Sabrina, shame on you.
Tripping.
You bugging. You are smoking krills.
You built wrong.
Gay! Gay!
Yes.
You got feet on your head.
Gay! Gay!
Don't do that.
You got legs for arms. You built wrong. Somebody set you up wrong.
Yeah. There's no way that you were charging $75 prior to Sabrina, and then you get the Sabrina infrastructure and you're still charging $75. That is, dude, that is murderous. Would you go to the Ritz-Carlton expecting Motel 8 prices?
Good point. Good question.
Would you go to the Four Seasons expecting Holiday Inn prices?
No.
You want to fly Spirit? Fly Spirit. And get what Spirit? You're going to get a half-eaten bag of peanuts. It's on the rack, buddy. Yeah, the stewardess has already stuck his fingers multiple times into your bag of peanuts, and he licks his fingers prior. That's the service you're gonna get. You don't get that type. The customer, we've been running our own data. We have been running our own research. Clients expect to pay more once they see what Sabrina has done.
Yes.
Like the price has gone up, as Fat Joe would said. I used to have that soundbite. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yep. And 6 out of 10 clients prefer to skip the line. So, and that number is not going backwards. It's actually going forward. So it just switched over to just over half of customers prefer to not talk to somebody. In other words, you go to check out, and then you have the option of going through the self-service or going through the cashier. Now, the numbers support that 6 out of 10, which is more than half, and is going up, it's trending upwards, are now preferring not to speak to someone. So,
yeah,
you see this in your daily life. How are you incorporating that into your business? See,
we had to pivot.
Yeah.
We had to pivot with the way we were presenting things because the customer's behavior was changing. Like as much as we would like to talk to people and being able to help them, by having live conversations, this new generation that's coming up, they don't want that. They're not interested in that. You can look it up. The research it's there. It's on the internet. People are choosing to opt out to speak to someone live. Now, here's the funny thing. I just found this out, Tech. I just did some research about this. Do you know the human brain cannot tell the difference between a live interaction that is face-to-face versus a Zoom or a virtual one?
Oh, really?
They can't tell the difference. So for them, this live is as good as them meeting up with us at a coffee house and having a conversation.
Just sitting in on the conversation.
People's brains are being rewired from politics to media to AI. It is changing right before your eyes. I can't emphasize that enough, bro. It is changing right before your eyes. A few years ago, we couldn't do what we're doing right now. Movable backgrounds, our own banners. Like this is media production.
Can I play the video? It's like a 4-minute video of me interacting with Sabrina.
Of course.
I mean, this is unscripted. The video just released, is brand new, hot off the press, and we'll leave the link in the bottom so you can go view for yourself. But yeah, because we want to give you, we're not just talking, y'all. I mean, I know y'all think we're just talking. We're not just talking, man. We're gonna show you guys, give you guys a little sample. Let me taste. Let me play this real quick, man. Let me share my screen for a second. You see the screen?
Not yet, bro. I gotta add it to the stage. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, apply for the installation. We have a waiting list, actually, so we couldn't see you immediately, even if we wanted to. But if you put in your application now, we can review it. Yeah, scan that QR code at the bottom. Apply for our installation. I think we're up. We're getting up there. We have about a 3-month waiting list right now of notaries that are looking to apply for this installation. So scan the QR code. It's not a pitch. It's not a sales demo. You're applying for this. And then we'll see if Sabrina is a good fit for you. All right, go ahead, brother. You're live.
This is Sabrina. AI system due to high call volume, but you didn't fall through the cracks. I'm right here to help. Yeah. ICB schedule callback, or if you prefer, we can answer your question. What would you like to do?
So I'm reading the text message. This is me. I'm acting as a client. I'm calling a notary business. The notary business is now, Sabrina is now responding to me. And this is the text message that I'm getting back from Sabrina telling me, hey, this is Sabrina. We missed you due to high call volumes, but you didn't fall through the cracks. I'm here to help right now. Reply CB to schedule a callback. Or if you prefer, we can answer your question. What would you like to do?
Need help with a DS11 form. As you can see, you are now engaging with Sabrina right now. We see what you mean. The DS11 form is for past publications, and we're happy to help with notarization or when the signature is needed. Are you looking to book an appointment for the service? Immediately, Sabrina, her objective is to book the appointment. That's it.
So for people listening to this and not watching this, Sabrina just responded. My response was, I need help with the DS11 form. So I'm just responding like a typical interested, inquiring potential client would. That's just a normal conversation. As a matter of fact, I got this conversation from real life engagement. I got this conversation from real life experience. So I'm just responding as anyone typically would. And Sabrina says, I see what you mean. DS11 forms for passport applications. Are you looking to book the appointment for this service? That's what Sabrina's response is. Let's watch.
She's always going to guide you towards booking an appointment and collecting payment and getting the client on your calendar. Say yes. These are just typical questions that customers will ask. And Sabrina, she's programmed to respond as if she is responsible for putting the person on the schedule. So she goes, yes, we're located on Hackenberry Road. However, this is a mobile service, so we come to your location. Super convenient. We'd like to book an appointment and have us come to you.
See, people will just derail your conversation. And this is why sales skills are so important. This is why Sabrina's so cool, because her goal is to book the appointment. When people will just completely derail the conversation, start asking you about your location, for example. Hey, where are you located? Can we walk in? Right, they completely take you off your track. And that's what I'm attempting to do. But Sabrina is trained. She has one skill, one objective, and that's to book appointments. And we're watching this. This is not a person that they're interacting with. This is a AI system that we have.
Oh yeah, how much? So out of curiosity, what are you expecting it to be? This is how I run my particular operation in terms of she doesn't give out a price unless you are providing enough details. She needs to gather enough details. I'm gonna say I don't know.
I think this is important to point out because Sabrina takes after this. Sabrina, it mimics me, and in this situation, I would not give out a price without gathering enough information before I was able to give out a reasonable price. So that's why Sabrina answered in that manner, because that's something that I would do, and you can do it exactly how you would do it in that situation.
Say $50. I'm just throw that out there. I just know that she's gonna respond that way because I trained her to do that. So look, let's see what she says. Whoa, $50? That would be amazing. We admit there's no way we can do it for $50. However, it's possible we can find a more affordable option if you're flexible. Once you receive the link, you can read all the details and speak to a live agent. If you have questions when you book, you can share any important info like door codes, parking, pets, printing requests, writing an intake form. It's now a good time to forward the booking to your phone. You see, she's still trying to book the appointment, and that is her objective. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a printer. You're talking to Sabrina right now. This allows you to kind of do your thing and work. And so she goes, we see what you mean. We're happy to help with printing. You can request printing when you fill out the intake form at the booking, and our team will handle it for you. It's now a good time to send those bookings to your phone to get started. Yes. So now she should send the link. That way we can get started here. Let's see what she does. This is going to send it to the website so that way we can get started. Here we go. We're sending the booking to your phone now. Once you open it, you'll be able to see sharing special requests like printing, writing an intake form. It's secure spell before you book. Let's say no.
I'm just reading the text messages.
She should do a warm send off.
Yep.
She said, thanks for making your appointment a priority. If you need anything else, just have a great day. She disconnects, so you can just go and click that link. I'm gonna refresh that because that's the old website. You see that? So we've upgraded the website now. Now you can pick your city. Let's say I live in Oakland. 1 or 2 signatures. Pick up, say Friday. Let's say I go 5:30. Then that takes me to the intake form. I fill out my details, upload documents, and then I pay for it. Book the appointment. Bam. So yep, there goes Sabrina. Great. fantastic. This allows me to run my notary business hands-free. And so I'm sending confirmation emails, it's courtesy reminders, and
Great. Just like that. So what does that mean? That means that you can run your business, you can take care of your family, you can sleep, you can go to your 9 to 5 and work your other job while your notary business doesn't require your presence to be there. So you don't have to go back and forth with somebody asking you questions. Now you got a trained assistant does it for you. And does it just how you would probably do it.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's important that we state that she can handle multiple clients at once. That's a big one because when you do get busy, there's many times that you'll be on a sales call and you got another sales call coming in.
Yes.
She can interact with as many clients as you can send her. That is where you start separating everything. Because if it's just you that's answering the phone calls, you know that you cannot handle. I don't care if you are the best multitasker on the planet. You can only handle one sales call at a time.
Okay.
The fact that she can handle multiple sales calls at a time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Listen, that's infrastructure. That's a system. That is you being able to scale your business without being punished.
Yep. Welcome to the next
Any
generation.
final words, bro?
Welcome to the next generation. Welcome. We're here now.
Yeah, we here. So next week we will be doing Pass or Trash, and I was supposed to do AI for badass notaries. So real quick, there's a thing called let me run my quick intro on this one, and this won't even be long. It'll just be like 1 minute or 2 minutes.
Coming up next is AI Strategies for Badass Notaries with Tiger Toledo on the Notary Insights Show.
Okay, so opening up your ChatGPT, this is called a brain dump. So basically what you would do is you would go on ChatGPT, hit a new chat. Hopefully that you have the pro version or premium version. It's only $20 something a month. I recommend it because it has the memory bank. But what you want to do, like for me, sometimes I have a lot of thoughts going on in my mind, but I know that ChatGPT only responds to very concise prompts. So what I'll do is I'll hit the record button, which is that little microphone button right there. And then I'll just brain dump. I'll just spill whatever's in my head. Let's just say I want to create a trailer for this show or whatever. I'll say something like this. I want to create a trailer for the next Notary Insight show. I want it to be impactful. I want you to create it as a prompt, and it's going to be about notaries jumping off of sky high buildings, and it's colorful. I want you to add stories to it, a monologue. So and then create that as a prompt. And then I stop it. So as you can hear, it was just a bunch of ideas just being thrown in there, right? Once you do that, she will start creating a prompt for you to insert to her so she can give you a detailed, well-organized response.
Okay.
Very, very effective. Very, very effective. So you probably can't see it here, but it's saying Notary Insights trailer prompt, and then all I have to do is copy and paste it and put it in there.
Yeah.
And it's completely organized. So that's called a brain dump. Anytime you are experiencing, your thoughts just isn't organized, but you are capturing that lightning in a bottle, and you know that you want to put it into AI and have it expand on it and organize it for you, do that. Record it. Don't type it up because the brain moves way faster than you typing. Just dump it and tell it to create a prompt for you in the beginning or in the end, and then see what happens. See the magic that happens from that.
Oh, that's useful.
And that's pretty much it for the show. Tech, any final words, bro?
That's it, man. Welcome to the next generation.
See you on the other side. You heard?
You know what's wild? The biggest threat to a notary business isn't competition, it's missed calls. While you're driving, while you're notarizing, while you're living, revenue is ringing and no one's there to answer. That's why we built Sabrina AI. Not another app, not another chatbot. A trained AI phone receptionist engineered specifically for notaries. She answers your business line instantly, qualifies the caller, schedules the appointment, handles the follow-up, all while you stay focused on closing deals. The smartest operators aren't working harder, they're building systems. And when a client calls a Sabrina-powered notary, it feels structured, it feels premium, it feels inevitable. Right now, most notaries are still doing this manually. The ones booking demos, they're building leverage. If you're serious about running your notary business like a CEO, not an operator, book the demo. Watch Sabrina answer a live call and decide for yourself whether you want to chase income or have it captured automatically.